right, can you guys hear me okay? Yep, good. All right, let me go ahead. So thank you so much for being here. I've been missing all of you. I've been just thinking of our time together, and I know in talking with some of the leadership team, the ninjas are going strong, and I know that this is a really important time of the year. So I just wanted to not take too much time from you, but take some time to talk about the importance of the next few weeks that we have in front of us in being able to end the year strong, but also build momentum for the upcoming year, and just highlight some of the basic concepts that we really need to make sure that we are staying close, some of the best activities and best practices we can focus on. If I'll go ahead and open up the chat box as well. So if you do have questions that you want to ask me, you can go ahead and put it in the chat box, or we have a smaller group so you can unmute yourself and we can talk about these. But again, the fourth quarter, in my personal opinion, is the most important quarter of the entire year for us, because everything that we do, there is still so much opportunity out there, and so much of what we do now is going to show up in about 90 to 100 days, which is going to put us smack dab in the first quarter. And every time I work with ninjas at this time of year, their fourth quarters are stellar, because you might have heard, 'tis the season. Well, in Ninja, we all know that the secret is flow and being in flow. And there is no better time of year to be able to be in flow. So 'tis the season for Ninja, 'tis the season for flow. We have reasons to be able to reach out to our people and call them, reasons to get face-to-face with them, events that are happening, even through COVID. So we want to make sure that we are staying focused on being connected with people. Remember, our job is not real estate. Our job is connections and being resources. And the more that we focus on our true job, we are going to be able to see success, not just in the next few weeks, but going in and setting up the new year. We really want to make sure when it comes down to mindset, we are looking for abundance. Ninjas are masters of change. And when I talk about change, it's about understanding the change that others are going through, because we know that real estate follows change. We know that everybody is motivated to take action because of pain or pleasure. And the more that we can stay connected with people and understand, we are able to serve them, to add value to them, both on the real estate side as well as on the human side. I was talking with one of my coaching clients this morning, and she went where most people go. I wonder what's going to happen next year. I wonder what next year is going to look like. The truth is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what is happening in the world, because people are always going to have change. There has been no better year to explain that, express that, and demonstrate that than 2020. The more that we focus on being there for our people and helping them through change, we don't have to worry about what is happening in the world with the economy, all of those things, because there are always going to be people needing to move. There are always going to be people having babies, getting married, getting divorced, buying their first home, moving up, taking advantage of interest rates, the recessions, the appreciations, all of those things. We need to look for the abundance. Who is it can we serve? Not who can I sell a house to today? Who can I serve? And when we focus on the serving, the abundance and the opportunities come. And then when it comes into our actions, it's the consistency factor. We can't just sit down and say, okay, I'm going to make calls today and have a really great day and reach out to 20 people and then not make calls again for another 30 days. It is better for us to do things consistently, to make 2 or 3 calls a day. And that's why if you look at the Ninja system and the Ninja 9, it's about doing things with consistency, doing 2 handwritten notes a day rather than 10 all at one time. So breaking them down and staying consistent, because it is better to do something every day than nothing. And those little somethings all start to add up. So I want to just hit on some of the best practices. These are in no particular order. You can do all of these, some of these, and you may have your own. And I certainly want to open it up to shares if any of you have some great practices as well. The first thing that I really encourage you to do is to do a deep dive with your warm list. Our warm list, if you remember, are the people that are having change. So if you have access to the Ninja Manual, it's on page, I believe, 47. If not, get together with another Ninja or get together with someone on leadership and they can print that out for you. These are the people that are having change in their world that can equate to real estate, probably a good 6 to 12 months down the road. This is your tomorrow's business. So I encourage you to do a deep dive every quarter, but certainly if you haven't done it yet, this is the time to do it. So you want to take each name that is in your sphere of influence and run it through those 16 reasons for change. And if they can say yes to any of those, they go on your warm list. We want to make sure that we are staying close to these people. We are checking in with them. We're not checking in with them to say, hey, you're on my warm list. Are you ready to move? It's more, how can we serve them? If you know that the change is that they're getting married, well, let's check in with them and talk with them about how the wedding plans are coming. You know, if the change is coming because they know that they have maybe a sick parent who may be passing and then would need to sell that home, you know, we don't want to call and say, hey, so is mom at death's door today? No, it's just, how is mom today? So you want to just be able to be visible there and see, do they need help with anything? Just letting them know that you are thinking of them and being top of mind. You can then work your warm list with some of the other ones. Maybe it's reaching out and having a forward conversation, asking them about family, occupation, recreations, or dreams. Maybe it's sending them a handwritten note. Maybe it's popping by and dropping something off to them. Maybe it's doing a real estate review for them and letting them know what's happening in their market. So it doesn't just have to be that you're going to call them. It's how can I serve them? What is it that they need? Are they going through pain right now? Or are they going through times of good things and pleasures and things that we want to celebrate? What we find is that when you go through those 16 reasons for change, you can put about 20% of your sphere of influence on your warm list at any given time. That doesn't mean that they're all going to do something, but it's coming back to that mindset of abundance. Because if I have 20 people in my sphere of influence, that's 20, 100 people rather in my sphere of influence, that's about 20 people that I could put on my warm list. Out of that, there probably will be a good 3 to 6 transactions coming out of just that group, which is pretty good business. And when you can focus on the abundance, you start to think about, where does my mindset need to go? Where do my actions need to go? So you are really making sure that you are staying connected with the right people. So Jeff mentioned that Ninja Mastermind groups are now being formed. So again, let him know, because we're working on all of these skill sets in these mastermind groups so that you can be in tune, staying focused and staying consistent with all of them. But your warm list is something that you want to review on a regular basis. You want to look at it every day, because people can change in a heartbeat. They can be on the warm list today, and then an opportunity comes up, the change happens, and they're ready to go sooner. So you want to make sure that you are staying consistent and really paying attention to that warm list. So again, doing a deep dive on it right now before we go into making our calls, making our contacts over the holiday season, because you might find some nuggets in there and some reasons to stay connected with people. So that's our warm list. The next one are the calls. Being the fact that it is COVID season and people are home, our calls are one of the best tools that we have. It's actually one of the best tools that we always have, because it's a great way of leveraging our time. Now, the challenge with the calls is everybody gets in their mind and they say, I don't want to call people because I don't want to be that icky salesperson. I don't know what to talk to them about. I don't want to pressure them into having to buy and sell real estate. So if you remember, our calls, our conversations are not focused on real estate unless they are a current client. They are focused on the people. And what we want to talk with them about is their very favorite topics in the entire world, which come down to the FORD acronym: family, occupation, recreations, and dreams. So when you reach out to do your calls to people, they are not sales calls. They are calls to connect with them, to listen to them, to learn what is happening, and to uncover, is there possible change in their world? So if I'm calling someone, it's not going to be, oh, what's happening? Hey, I have a new listing. Do you want to see it? Because that makes it about me. I'm going to ask them, how's the weekend been? What are your plans for the holidays? How are you and your family doing? Are you all staying safe and healthy? As I cough, I don't have COVID. I just got tested. I'm good. But you want to focus on these. Trust me, as you ask them about them, most of them will come back and ask you about you. And then you can trickle some things in. I've been keeping very busy. I'm actually getting ready to put 2 new listings on the market. I have been so blessed this year that almost all of my business has come from referrals, which has just been incredible. So when they come back and ask you, you can trickle in some things to remind them that you're in the business, but it's really all about them. If you do go to an event or you do run into someone and they ask you questions, if it is business, you then can talk business. I had someone, and what she would do at parties is she would even tell them, you know, we're at a barbecue right now, and I would love to talk with you about the market, but you know what? Let's go ahead and enjoy our time here. How about I give you a call tomorrow? And we can talk more one-on-one, and I can answer your specific questions. That was a great way for her to be able to capture the information, but not derail the conversation, and then get into a point where she could really be present, poised, and have the information she needed. So it's okay for you to say, you know what, let's talk next time if there's a lot of people around. Or, you know, saying, you know, I only have about 5 minutes before my next appointment, but I would love to talk with you more. Are you free later? Can I give you a call back? But listening, and when you work with Ford, they are excited to talk with you. There is gold. Now, for those of you that were at our installation, if you remember, we had 2 days where I let you go and make calls. And out of the room of about 50 people on both days, we had about 15 to 20% of the room that also came back with an appointment from the calls that they made in just 20 to 30 minutes. There is magic in these conversations, but we've got to remember, nobody wants a sales call. Everybody wants a call about their very favorite topic in the entire world. So block out time. For some of us, it's blocking out the time and doing 30 minutes, an hour worth of calls. I tend to do my calls on Friday. That's my connection day. Other people, they do better more off the cuff. So they do that when they're driving around, picking up their kids. I had somebody doing it in Driveline because our kids are back in school. So just get your target list together. Who do you want to reach out to this week and call? Take it with you. So if you're waiting on food that you need to pick up at the restaurant, make a call. If you're driving around, make the call. If you're waiting on an appointment, make the call. But get your target list together. But remember, these do not have to be real estate calls. They are calls to people to connect. Now, the Ford conversations mean everybody. So again, everybody counts. It doesn't just have to be people in your sphere, it's everyone. And your current clients are also part of this. So if you do have current clients that you are talking with, make sure you are asking them some of the Ford concepts too. Don't just go straight into business. Bring in this concept of hospitality. Know what's happening with your people, but listen, 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 because the Ford criteria are also the greatest places where people are having change. So as we're talking with them, we're working with that. Our database is the central nervous system to our business. So we want to make sure that it is cleaned up. This is an exercise where whenever I have my clients do it, they find gold and so many opportunities in there. But this is the perfect time of the year. Again, 'tis the season. So what we encourage all of our coaching clients to do is from now until the end of the year is to make sure you reach out to everybody that is in your sphere of influence, your database, and connect with them, whether it's a face-to-face or over the phone, and wish them a happy holidays. It could be to connect with them. Hey, I am updating my database, getting ready to send out my holiday newsletter, getting ready to send out some holiday joy, my whatever it is. Just want to make sure I have everything updated. Confirm their address, their email, their cell phones. Listen and find out is anything new going on in their world. But this is something that you really want to do. And this is a perfect time to do that. So make sure that your database is as cleaned up as it possibly can be. And then also, this is the exercise. You can do this in conjunction with your warm list and looking for those reasons for change. But I promise you, you are going to find abundance in your own backyard when you do these 2 exercises. Because when you focus on the change and you focus on who you can serve, great things come together. Mailings, let's talk about some mailings. So in Ninja, we talk about art and science. Art is more of the heartfelt things, and the science is more of the statistical business things. Bring in a combination of them. You might do on the science side, on the business side, you might do some quarterly market statistics. You may do some winter housing tips, how to get your house ready for the winter, the fall and the winter. You may do, you know, top 10 gifts to buy kids, or places where maybe they're having some holiday events, the botanic gardens, the zoo lights, whatever they may be. Maybe you send out a vendor list. I have somebody, and what they are doing is they are actually partnering with their handy person. And it is a male, so we'll call it a handyman. And what they're doing is, instead of giving a gift, because they know everybody does all of these items, is they are giving them a $25 gift certificate for their handyman. So that's a way to help both people, and just saying, here are some of the, you know, the top 5 tips that you can do around your house for hanging lights, disposing of the Christmas tree, you know, whatever it may be, changing out the furnace, you know, all the things that a handy person can do. And then they're saying, here's a $25 gift certificate. They probably will spend more than that, but it's a way to, again, bring community and to be able to help everybody. So those are things you can do. On the art side, this is where you can get creative. This is where you can have some real fun and bring in that law of authenticity. Find what works for you. Now, one of the things that I do is I do not do a holiday card. I do a gratitude card. I just have too many people that, okay, well, if I'm being completely honest, the reason I didn't do a holiday card is because I could never get my act together, and it was always January 1st and I was sending out my holiday cards. So I just decided that that just doesn't work for me. But I also have people that celebrate different holidays. So what I do is in November, they get a card from me, and it strategically goes out so that they get it like the Monday or Wednesday right before Thanksgiving. And it's all about giving thanks. It's all about gratitude. And it's a time for me to thank them. That way, it's the first one that they get. It stands out a little bit. It usually has pictures of me and my son, and it's just a little bit more heartfelt. So that's something that I send. I have other people that send the holiday cards, and that's perfectly fine. I have some people that do a New Year's card, and they send it out that sort of the last, you know, couple days of December or the first few days of January, so that it's sandwiched in there. I have people that do calendars, whether they're real calendars or magnet calendars. Those are great things to send out. I have someone, and I used to do these when Nicholas was much younger, and I did letters from Santa. So as I was going through my database and as I was making my forward calls, I called them and I said, hey, would you like your child or your grandchild, your niece or nephew, to receive a letter from Santa? And what I would do is I would get the child's name, I would get their age, something that they were working on in school or around the house or sports or something, and then something that they wanted for the holidays. And then I had a template put together, and I would just add in their names, and it would say, you know, something cute like, hi, Nicholas, you know, Mrs. Claus and I have been keeping our eye on you. We know how hard you've been working with math. Keep up the good work. You know, I know that you really want that Legos Star Wars set, so I'll do my best to see if there's room in the sled for that. Keep helping out around the house and keep being nice to your baby sister, and, you know, look forward to seeing you on Christmas Eve or something like that. And then I would get all those together and I would send them up to the North Pole, and they would come back, and it would be a letter from Santa addressed to the kids. They loved it. The parents loved it. There's some video ones you can do. So you can do some fun things like that. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with mailings. It could be places that are accepting donations. It could be something where maybe you join with a local vendor, maybe a local coffee house, restaurant, something like that, where it's, hey, bring this postcard in and get a free cup of coffee when you purchase a breakfast sandwich, get a free appetizer with the purchase of a meal. So you can do a lot of different things, but the idea is, again, serve, 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 and bringing these in. So again, maybe you do one art, one science, maybe two arts, one science, but you can work with these and bring some other items in. And again, as I'm going through these, if you have things that you have done in the past, go ahead and put them in the chat box so we can share some other great ideas to be able to put all those together. Now, events have always been something that have been very popular. This year, they're going to look very different. But if you are going to parties, I still have some people that are conducting parties, but what they're doing is that they're doing them more in an open house format. So I have someone that is doing a Halloween one, and what she is doing is she lives on a cul-de-sac. So she is, because trick-or-treating was canceled in her area, so she is inviting people to drive by trick-or-treat. So she is going to be out there from this time to this time, and she's encouraging people to drive by, to bike by, and she's going to be out there giving candy and, you know, giving it to them, social distancing wise. So that's something you can do. I have someone and they have sort of a holiday party at their house. They're going to do it in increments, and they're going to say, if your last name is from A to C, come by from 9 to 10:30. If it's from D to F, come by from 10:30 to 12. So you can stagger it that way. Some people are not doing events, but they are coordinating charity events, and they are saying, we are going to collect for Toys for Tots. We're going to do a food drive. We're going to do a shoe drive. And it could be, I'm going to have a box at my office. I'm going to have a box at my front door. Come and drop it off. If you cannot drop it off, then I will come around the weekend of whatever, and I will pick them up from you. So that's another way, and that is an event. You may do the pop buys. Pop buys are great. Get a little gift together. I have some people that are doing little trick-or-treat bags and doing trick-or-treat pop buys. I have some people that have popped by and dropped off pumpkins. I have some over the holidays, they are doing pies, and they are either dropping off and giving a holiday pie, pumpkin, apple, cherry, right before Thanksgiving. Some people are doing a reverse pop by where they are saying, come by my house and pick up your pie, or come by the office and pick up your pie. So they're doing those. Over the holidays, a popular one has been wrapping paper, where they drop off to the people in their sphere. It doesn't have to be everybody. It could just be the top 10, 15, 25. Rolling paper, or wrapping paper rather, ribbon, and some tape so that they can have some holiday gift wrap. One of my clients is doing poinsettias, and she's going to drop off poinsettias to everybody that did a transaction with her this year. So there's just different ways you can do this. If somebody is having an event at their house, you can be an unofficial host. I am great at being the unofficial host. I have a townhome, so it's really hard for me to have more than about 8 or 10 people at any one time. Plus, I'm on the road, so it's hard for me to organize it. But if I have somebody in my sphere that is having a party, I am the unofficial host. And what I say is, you know what? You want to be there to socialize. So why don't I come over an hour before and I'll help you set up, and you know what? I'll collect everybody's coats, and that way you can just be there to mix and mingle. Or maybe I'll be the unofficial photographer for them and I can walk around, but that gives me the opportunity to meet and greet everybody, so that now I have a connection with them. I know their name, so that afterwards I can maybe Facebook friend them. I can send a handwritten note to them. I know with COVID, we may not be doing that, but that's just a little nugget that you can have for down the road too. But there still are events. Some people are hosting talk events. They're, you know, bringing on a lender and talking about interest rates. I have somebody, and who is she interviewing? We just talked, oh, she is interviewing a home security person, talking about the importance of having home security and what are some of the basics that they can do. You know, so you can bring on somebody. I have somebody that's interviewing a health and wellness coach, and they're talking about tips for self-care and some healthy snacks that they can make. So you can do some fun things, you know, and do those on Zoom and invite people to them. So there's lots of different things that you can do event-wise to be able to keep them together. And then social media is always a great way. First and foremost, use social media as a way to connect. Do your Facebook fishing. Go on social media 5 minutes a day. Look for who is having pain and pleasure. Look who is having change as a way to then reach out to them, to check in with them, to do the personal call, to do the handwritten note. So first and foremost, let's use Ninja as a pull strategy, pulling information out rather than pushing. When we use social media to post, think about being a resource. What is it that my people need? Is it posting articles on how to stay sane over the holidays? Do we want to post articles on COVID-friendly tips, travel tips for the holidays and how to stay healthy over the holidays. Maybe it's some holiday recipes that we can do. Maybe it's how to stay connected with people who you can't see face to face. There's all sorts of things that we can work with people. Again, holiday housing tips, decorating the house for the holidays, fun things you can do if you're going to be stuck inside over the holidays. There's so many wonderful things that we can do. And then you can post, again, some housing tips. You can post new listings or open house opportunities. So it's the same thing with the mailings, bring in that mix of art and science. But there's so many different ways to stay top of mind. The idea is this is not a time to go away. This is a time to be visible, but always coming from a place of how can I serve them? How can I be a resource for them? How can I add value to them? So every day it's what can I do? It's looking and listening for the change and then being there as a resource for them. So I just gave a bunch of things. I would love to open it up. Again, you can unmute yourself if you want to ask a question. You can put things in the chat box. But what I would love to hear is, one, any questions that you have or challenges that you're having. Two, do you have something that you have done in the past that was a home run that really had great results that you want to share? Or three, tell me what some of your best takeaways were from some of the items that I went over. So let's get some conversation going. And leadership, you're included on this too. So let me know what you're seeing, maybe ideas that you have. Anyone? Anyone? I know there's thoughts out there.
I love the gratitude card.
Excellent. Good. I love it. Yeah, the gratitudes are great. Another thing that you can do if you wanted to do a Popeye that's really inexpensive is you can create a gratitude jar. Just go to the store and get a little mason jar. You can get them at any store. They're pretty inexpensive. Just put a little ribbon around it, and you can even just give them little sheets of paper or sticky notes, and that could be a great gift, a great Popeye to encourage others to do gratitudes as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And the Zoom parties. I mean, the Dodgers just won. I mean, we could have done, you know, there's a Zoom, you could just get people on Zoom to watch a game or do whatever. And I think that was mentioned not too long ago, but yeah, I love that too.
Great. Excellent. Love it. Other thoughts, questions, comments?
Claire, just a quick comment. I know an agent that whole marketing program is totally just Popeyes. Like right now, she's got a cute little pumpkin and it says her name, and then it says, "Don't be spooked with your next real estate transaction." It's just really cute.
Yeah.
And
so there's all sorts of stuff. And again, it's that law of authenticity. Now with the Popeyes, you can choose. Do you want to drop them off, or is that something that you can delegate? You just have to kind of see how it works for you. I have some people who do a lot of Popeyes, so they strategically do it to sort of their A people and then have somebody else deliver them to somebody else. But that's something that you can delegate out to. But I'm telling you, people love the Popeyes. I have someone and she's doing a movie night Popeye. She's not putting a movie in there, but she's dropping off like some popcorn, some candy, you know, just things that, you know, families can do to have a movie night.
That's a good idea.
So another thing, if you're looking for just fun, creative things, if you go on, you know, Google or whatever, and you just even type in random holidays, there is almost a holiday every day of the year. There is National Lollipop Day, you know, National Coffee Day, whatever it is, you know, there's some months that do those. So maybe you can even coincide some Popeyes for that. If November is National Lollipop Month, you know, go and get 5 little lollipops, and that could be a great Popeye to, you know, do. So capitalize on the things that nobody else is capitalizing on and have some of these random things to celebrate. It'll allow you to stand out, and it's a conversation starter. And then take photos of you doing your Popeyes and post those on social media. Anybody have any? Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. Clara, what I've done is I combine my daily exercise with running around and doing my Popeyes. So I do maybe 8 to 10 every other day. and that gets my exercise in and the Popeye.
I love
So,
it. Good for you.
those
That's a great way to
words of
leverage your time.
wisdom.
Nicely done. Anybody struggling with anything? Again, this is your time to ask me. I'm here to help you, you know, in everything that you're doing.
Well, I know that, I mean, if a lot of people are like me, I struggle with getting in my daily activities because there's so much that you can do. But one of the things that I'm starting to implement big time is just the blocking time. So 15 minutes for this, 15 minutes for that. That way I can do, you know, several of my to-dos every single day, instead of getting so overwhelmed that I just don't, I do one thing and not the other 99. And then and then I lose track, and then I get super overwhelmed. So blocking time has been a really good thing for me, just in the last few days.
Awesome.
So that really has helped.
So yeah, you know, do your best to protect your mornings so you can set your day up. Also be honest as you go into the day. Be honest, you know, is today going to be a 3-hour work day? And then say, because there's no right or wrong, if you only have 2 hours to work today because of other things that you have going on, what is the highest and best use for that 2 hours? And then again, time block it into increments. We talked about bubble time on the last day of the installation. So again, go into your bubble for 30 or 45 minutes and work intently on those items. So great job.
Carmina, would you share your, I want to call it your anxiety a little bit of making your calls and what the results has been because you made yourself get out of your comfort zone?
As I make my phone calls?
Yes.
Well, right. Well, I guess it starts with my mental preparation. I really try to talk myself into believing that I'm the kind of person that I'm very sincere, which I am, you know, but there's always a fear factor, and that I am out there to serve my clients. So that mental preparation is one thing. And then once I do that, and that obviously takes a lot of practice to get to that point, it's every day, right? Then I just make my phone calls and I try to reach out to people, right? I reach out to those who are in my list. I don't know, I just try to cover the ford. And if usually a person usually they have things to say. And one of the things that I've noticed is that when there is pain, I can be there for an hour, you know, on a phone call. It feels really good to connect and for people to actually open up. And I guess for me, I have got to be very patient and understand that it is about connecting, not about real estate. And if they are there to talk for 30 minutes, you know, that I can be a good friend. But the connection that is formed, oh my goodness, 1 hour would be worse, you know, forever, knowing that those people have actually understood that I can be there for them no matter what. And whenever, you know, it just opens up so many wonderful things when we take the time to listen and to connect. And I guess that's my takeaway. Yeah.
Great job.
How many numbers have you been going through over the last couple of weeks? How many dials or
I would say, okay, so I'm trying to do, you know, I've done 25 a week, but they have been really good quality connections. I you know, the 50 a week is still a lot for me, but at least between 20 to 30, I'm okay with that. If I can do those and connect really, really well, I'm okay with that.
Love it. Love it. Great job.
Love it.
Yeah, so much of it is a mindset. I know for me, that was the biggest hurdle. But once I got to the point where I understood I didn't even have to talk real estate. I really started enjoying them and being present. And like you said, it's that gift of presence means so much to people, to just know that somebody is there. You know, people are starving for that human connection right now. And I know so many times you know, we are in our heads, you know, nobody has time to talk. Nobody wants a call. All my people just say text them. And I think the one thing that we're learning time and time again is it may be strange at first, but once we start those conversations, they just blossom, and the relationships and the connections that come from them are just beautiful. Good. Anybody else have a comment or anything else that they want to share, or any other challenges that they're having? Awesome. Any other takeaways? Anybody want to share from today? What was the takeaway? What is something that I shared today that you think would be good for you to implement in your world over the next 8 weeks?
Clara, I was really excited that you were going to be speaking with us today because Ninja was awesome. But I love all of your ideas as far as reaching out in the fun, artistic ways. I'm all about the creative part of it. So I'm excited about the letter from Santa and the gratitude letters, and also the gratitude jar. I think that's a great idea.
Awesome. What I'll do is, it's on my old laptop, but I'll pull out the template that I used for the letter from Santa, and Jeff, I'll send that to you if you wouldn't mind blasting it out, and then you can just, you know, change it as you need to change it, but you can see how I put that together.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, this is Yvonne. I'd like to make a comment. Our Presidio office is doing a trunk or treat this Saturday. It's only $10 to join. Pay Casey, and you decorate your trunk and hand out candy. This is a wonderful way to connect. So I encourage everybody to hop on the bandwagon and let's get this done.
Yvonne, if I could interject, I'm really excited that Steve and Jen are coming to all the offices, because I would love to come down to Pleasant Grove, but Smithfield is just too far away. So I'm glad you're reaching out to us too.
You know what? That's why we want you all to look just like our office and join in doing all of the wonderful things that we do, like client appreciation events, Friday fun days, and hope you join in the virtual home tours, because these things will connect all of our offices together, that virtual home tour.
You
Clara,
bet.
love you. You're wonderful.
Love you.
Thank you.
Clara,
Yes.
can you hear me? This is Cynthia.
Hi.
Hi, so nice to see you and hear from you. I don't know if you guys can see me because I had it on no video, but anyhow, one of the things that I noticed is huge is being in the ninja mindset. You know, if we could be with you every morning and have us get up on time and work out and do everything, oh my gosh. It's just
I know.
so hard.
I always laugh that I need to come up with like little Clara dolls that you can like put on your shoulder.
Right? And so this morning I started my day by listening to Ninja on YouTube. And I think being in that ninja mindset is so crucial, at least for me, because there's just so much going on. And like you said, sometimes maybe you're planting seeds right now to get business in the future. And sometimes the stress of doing all these things and reaching out, and everyone's like, I love what you're doing. I love your videos. Thank you so much. But then you see people in your own neighborhood keep listing with other agents when they know you're an agent. It can be discouraging. So, oh my gosh, I think.
And that's where, and I get it. I know that when I sort of left my job in management and went into Ninja, I had to build my business. And I remember, you know, those first 3-4 months, it was going to my savings account and pulling money out, out, and people hiring other coaches and doing those. And it is. But what I did is I just stayed in my flow. I stayed consistent, and it started, because again, Ninja does take time. And remember, we talked about being patient, because you will start to see that momentum going. But with everybody, if they know 12 realtors, we've got to make sure that we are top of mind, not just in the sales aspect, but in the value. So Stay focused on your Ninja 9, stay focused on your consistency. You will start to see it change. Also, I am a true believer, whatever you want to call it, the universe sends us the right things. And sometimes when they list with someone else, it's a blessing that we just don't know yet.
And you're exactly right, because a specific neighbor, she had tried to get a new home from a builder. She went on just on her own with that. and it didn't turn out right, and she lost that home. And I said, well, you should have used your agent. And she said, no, they said we don't need to. And I said, so I gave her information and I gave her value in what I shared with her.
Yeah.
And I thought at the end of the day, she's so wishy-washy that is probably a big blessing in disguise. That
Exactly. So sometimes just say thank you so we can make room for the right people. That's that mindset of abundance that we need to have.
Yes.
I want to go grab something because we have a question from Minette about the gratitude jar and what we send with the gratitude jar. So here is mine. So again, you can just see it's a little mason jar and it has a little ribbon on it. And so I just send those. And then depending on how creative you are, you can go to a place like Michael's or a paper place. Sorry, I'm just trying to get in here, and just give them like little pieces of paper. And you can just give them a stack of that and then they can write things on them. If you don't have time for that, you can just go and buy the sticky notes, the little tiny sticky notes, and give them a stack of those. And those could be what they could use. And that's all I drop off, as I give them the jar with the ribbon and some notes. And, you know, I just tell them, go ahead and write down your daily gratitudes. And I've seen several of them, you know, around people's homes. Makes it really easy. Well, good. Well, I want to respect everybody's time. I know we have just a few minutes left. Anybody have any last minute things they need from me or anything else they want to add in?
I just want to add in that it's just amazing how inspirational you are. and just you know, the things that seem such a big deal, the way that you explain them, it just seems like it's not a big deal. It's simple and it's not as hard as they seem. So I really appreciate that. It really helps. Yes, it really helps us. We look towards this last end of the year, and do the things that you just talked about. They're really not a big, huge thing that, you know, that we need to be so worried about. But it's just more having fun and really doing it to help others in more than just real estate ways.
I love it. Awesome. And yeah, and if for any of you that are not, you know, follow me on social media and on YouTube, I have a channel. It's just called Moments of Clarity. And almost every Friday, I post a new video. It's just a little, you know, 1-minute video, just kind of sharing something. And my TV show will be on there pretty soon as well. So you'll be able to see those. But yeah, stay connected as much as you can with me. I'm here to help. My affirmation that I write daily is I motivate and inspire others to greatness daily. So that's what I want to keep doing.
Yeah, speaking of that, I'm still doing my 25 affirmations a day, and actually I do more than that. So I love that. It's better than just saying them.
Good.
So.
Excellent.
Clara, just so really quick, I'm sure you remember me, Carmina.
Yeah.
I did get that listing. So
You know
that you coached me on, so that was
excited.
awesome. Yeah, no, yeah, it was awesome.
Love it.
There were 3 agents, and the other 2 weren't as thorough and as good as you helped me be for that one. So that was awesome.
I love it. That makes me so happy. I actually wrote a note to call you after and see. So thanks for letting me know.
Thank you.
Awesome. So Jeff, any last words as we close out today?
I just the reminder of mastermind groups are now forming, especially in the Pleasant Grove office. We've got quite a few ninjas there that need to, I want to say, formulate in that mastermind, and so contact me and we'll be started. I think it's a fantastic happening, and I'll just share just a real quick story. We started with 8 agents in the South Jordan office about 3 weeks ago. In a mastermind, and one of the gals, after we presented the 12 ideas of, I want to call it the promise of Ninja, where you can make $200,000 a year if you'll do those 12 steps. To me, that's like baking brownies, you guys. Follow the recipe and do the work, and things will happen. But anyway, this agent stood up and said, I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm going to be just really honest with you. I don't know where to start. Which one of these 12 items should I be doing? And just kind of went on and on and on. And so we listened to her for a little bit. And then I said, can I help you solve that anxiety problem right here in this room with these 8 people if you'll feel safe and open up where the anxiety is coming from. Anyway, the long and the short of that story is in about 10 minutes, I want to say she got enough feedback that she stood back up again and said, thank you. She goes, this has been the most beneficial thing I've done to get myself out of my own way. And I believe now I can go do these 12 things and have a successful year. So know that there's power in that mastermind to solve some of those things that maybe, when we're sitting on the sidelines by ourselves, our self-talk maybe isn't as ninja as it should be, that you can get back on track really fast. So that's why we want to form these groups and help you get, I want to call it. So
Love it. So
Claire, we love you. It's been great. And thank you for your time and your energy and your inspiration to us.
well, thank you for letting me be part of the family. I miss all of you so much, and I can't wait till we can get back out and bring Ninja back, maybe in the first, second quarter next year, because there's more work we need to do and more inspiration we need to spread.
Exactly.
But again, if any of you need anything, again, know that I'm a resource here. So again, please don't hesitate. My email is just clara@ninjaselling.com. Again, find me on, social media. And if you have questions, if something doesn't make sense to you, if it's 2 months from now and you're just confused, again, know that I'm another one of your resources. You have amazing leadership guiding you, but if you need anything, don't ever hesitate to reach out. So, all right. See y'all again soon. Take care.